let's talk about quite an interesting color-changing flower, the forget-me-nots. Now, forget-me-nots are quite a well-known flower, mostly native to Europe and Asia, but also native to a couple areas in New Zealand, and has since spread throughout pretty much the rest of the world. But what's quite interesting about forget-me-nots is they change color slightly depending on whether or not they've been pollinated, and these pictures actually show that quite nicely. These ones up here with the bright yellow-orange center are unpollinated forget-me-nots. They haven't been visited by a pollinator such as a bee or a butterfly or a wasp yet, and that is seen because the center is still that bright color, which works to attract pollinators. However, these ones over here with the white center have already been visited at least a couple times. After the forget-me-nots have been visited, the center gradually fades to a very pale yellow or almost white. This is done in order to let pollinators know that those flowers have already been visited at least a few times and they no longer have any nectar to supply and also have no more pollen. The pollinators are not attracted to the lighter color, so instead of visiting those already depleted flowers, they will spend their time and energy going to the newer, unpollinated, brightly colored flowers. This saves the pollinators time and energy so they don't have to go to flowers to get nectar that have already fully been depleted. And since the pollen stores on the depleted flowers have already been used up, this helps the forget-me-nots by concentrating pollinator energy on flowers that still have the pollen. So this is quite a good strategy that increases the efficiency and energy usage of both the flowers and the pollinators. Now, there's another type of forget-me-not that also does a more drastic color change, the changing forget-me-not. These flowers, instead of being blue throughout their entire life cycle like other forget-me-nots, they start out as a yellow-green color, and gradually as they mature, they darken to either a blue color like in this image or even a pink. Now, the color shift in the changing forget-me-not, as far as I'm aware, doesn't have anything to do with pollination. However, I do think that they still have the centers that change colors like the other types of forget-me-nots. I'm not entirely sure if there is a specific reason for the color shift in the changing forget-me-nots, but it is also just an interesting color-changing flower, and forget-me-nots are quite a lot more interesting than a lot of people realize.